Seize the day, seize the dawn. Do you hear me calling? Let it go, let it fall. I'm gonna feel like seize the day, seize the dawn. Do you hear me calling? Let it go, let it fall. I'm gonna feel like seize the day, seize the dawn. Do you hear me calling? Let it go, let it fall. I'm gonna feel like seize the day, seize the dawn. Can you hear me? Seize the morning when it's dawning and soon. You can own it if you trust your instinct. It is only real as long as you think. Let it go until spring. Seize the morning when it's dawning and soon. You can own it if you trust your instinct. It is only real as long as you think it is.
Okay. Same song's gonna play on loop for a second, but I'm just gonna put it in there. I was contributed during the time out with some sprites, which I am opening up now. Hey, hey. How's it going? M, Colin, Almarian, Sten, Lay, Azzy. Alright. So, my goal right now, we probably don't have enough sprites to finish the washing room, but I could probably get started, and we could probably get started with the actual opening of the game. My goal is to get day 1 done today. Not sprite wise, like the actual design. It's mostly gonna be writing, but that'll be part of the fun of it. Yes, Shirokage. Let me clarify, this is RPG Maker, but it's not what people usually think of when they think of RPG Maker. Like, let me show quickly what the game looks like. I guess I'm loaded. Let me load myself actually in the bedroom for a second. Oh, yeah, the bedroom is fine. Just to demonstrate, if you're just coming in for the first time right now, Kokoro Love Sick. Interact with this. Ignore the camera perspective change for a second. You want to send me some? Oh, maple syrup shots because I'm Canadian. Oh, of course, stereotypes. It's alright, just many things to roll with and work with. We're still not really to the horror-y type stuff of the game yet. What? It's just an experiment which we're doing with RPG Maker fun. So far, most of our work has been spriting, programming, and designing several of the rooms of the house. We still have more rooms to design, but I think we have enough done. Also, I haven't made it so you can transfer between floors of the house yet. Ah, well, I'll come later. Still got a lot more to do. Right now we were working on the kitchen last, and I think we have enough to get started with the washroom, but... And I can also connect to the bathroom, I almost forgot about that. So I'm going to start off by connecting and working on one more room, so... Rolls as it goes, as it goes. Alright, and this door can transfer back to this room, right? A-okay. Yeah. Eat myself into the void to teleport. It's obviously the key to all this. Alright. We just have the basic house design fun going on right now, so yeah. Alright, so I guess today we're going to first connect the bathroom and get the washroom done. Not done, but started. And then my main goal for today, in fact, let me open this and put this to my daily goals here. Yeah, it's just a little bit of experiment. It's cheating a bit, as you can see in the editor, it's all just actually 2D. It's basically, because RPG Maker uses Pixie, which is it's the graphic rendering system, every game engine needs a way to render the graphics, and it uses Pixie. And because they've left RPG Maker open-ended, Pixie can render 3D. It's not a 3D-based engine, but you can do simple geometry and some other things. And so it's just with some tricky coding to make it seem like it's a 3D game. Like it's like how the first Doom did 3D, basically. Just with it's a little bit updated since Doom, since we're obviously like 2 or 3 decades past the original Doom. But yeah, like we can do lighting. That's cool. So washroom, connect the bathroom, and then design the first day of the game, which honestly probably should only take a few hours, not too long. You should make Doom an RPG Maker. Honestly, you probably could, but you know I don't want to. If I wanted to recreate a game, Doom would not be the first thing on my like. Doom's already an open source game. You can play Doom on about anything. And while that might be some fun, interesting practice, I feel like I'd rather challenge myself to make something else. Yeah, like if I. You know what? I keep on thinking about this with this. I think this engine could very well do an interesting recreation of Petscop. I even think I know how I could do most of the things Petscop does, with only a few barring exceptions. But yeah. For the record, this engine can import 3D models, but they have to be very specifically designed for it. They have to be in .obj format. And they have to be in very precise dimensions, basically. And also their poly count can't be too high. But you can do 3D modeling and import them into this version of Pixie. It just has to be kind of basic. No, Pokemon Snap would be too much. That's something that instead of trying to make it work in RPG Maker, it'd be better off just to do it in like Unity or something. It gets to a point where certain types of games work well with RPG Maker, but when you start trying to, like, theoretically it'd be possible to do some crazy stuff in it, but then at the point of the amount of work to get that to work, you might as well just work on an engine that would actually be easier to work on it in. So, yeah. A lot of people are excited for the upcoming Pokemon Snap. I'm interested in it. When I was younger, Pokemon Snap actually intrigued me by a lot. So yeah, and hey, Nepty. Alright, so we're gonna make the normal before the Nightmares version stuff of the washroom. Normal washroom. This room is actually probably gonna be the, like, outside of the closet, this is probably gonna be the smallest room in the game, so. The RPG Maker isn't free. It's a commercial engine. Okay. I'm gonna pause so the music isn't distracting me for a second. RPG Maker has a lot of different versions. Actually, funnily enough, in between the few days that we've talked, I forgot to mention this last time we streamed. They announced the next version of RPG Maker. Currently, we know next to no details on it. Within the RPG Maker community, it's kind of a meme at the moment. Because, in fact, I'll show you guys the page if they haven't updated it already. RPG Maker. So MV is for a while been the newest version, but they announced the next version, which is MZ. Apparently, they skipped X and Y. But anyways, we don't know much about it. Just what they share, it looks like RPG Maker. One noticeable thing is that they have a layers option, which might mean they might be trying to recreate the XP layering system, which in itself is interesting, but I want a little bit more than that. Yeah, it usually costs $70. There is something, and this is something which I will say is a good point of RPG Maker MV particularly. Not every version of RPG Maker supports this because they came out during different eras. There's also older versions. Despite the fact that MV is the newest one, I need to clarify something. There's not really a best version of RPG Maker. Each one has some different pros and cons. One of the most popular versions has been XP. The 4 versions of RPG Maker that most people consider the best, most of them have come to Steam because they're considered the best by most. There are other versions, like there was an RPG Maker 2000, that was in the original RPG Maker, but that stuff wasn't ported because it's very outdated at this point. But typically the best versions of RPG Maker, and I'm not saying this in any particular order except what's listed here, is MV, XP, VX Ace, and 2003. And would you look at that? They put the 4 versions of what people consider the best versions of RPG Maker onto Steam. And now I could tell you some of the different pros and cons of each of these. If you want a list of games, XP is the version of RPG Maker that most people's favorite RPG Maker horror games were made in. If you know Eve, if you know Human Nikki, etc., those were made in XP. I believe, and I might be mistaken, but I believe Witch's House was made in VX Ace. I'd have to recheck that, though. Still, though? Well, yeah, as I said, the older, like the really old versions, the thing about RPG Maker is it's existed forever. Like, it's actually surprising to me how long RPG Maker as a concept has existed, even like way, way, way before the indie boom. There's RPG Maker games that are from 1990s, like famously Corpse Party, the original Corpse Party, not the 2008 PC indie redone version, then the PSP 2010 release. The original Corpse Party was like a 1995, 1996 game. It ironically, Corpse Party actually ends up. You know what is really funny to think about? One of the first horror games, like actual horror games to exist, is an RPG Maker horror game. I think that's hilarious, and no one talks about it. When we talk about the history of horror, we don't really. A lot of people brush over the fact that Corpse Party, the original, is one of the first actual horror games that ever existed, and it's an RPG Maker horror game. I don't know why I find that hilarious, but anyways. Rolling. There's also some other experiments, like there's Palette from 1998, which is made in RPG Maker, which is an I don't like Palette's really weird for me because I appreciate Palette. I like the idea of Palette. I like the look of Palette. It's just not a very good game, but it's interesting. It's an interesting, not very good game, in my opinion. Though I do like the art style it has a lot. But anyways, da 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 da. I like RPG Maker. I started realizing I liked RPG Maker a lot. The first RPG Maker horror game I played, without realizing back then it was RPG Maker, was this thing called Ravenwood something. It was It was like, maybe it was just Ravenwood Horror. Oh well. It was a Resident Evil type thing. Anyways, the version I'm using right now is MV. MV, if you go with XP or 2003, here is one of the biggest qualms I should mention. They do allow you to create and sell the games you make in RPG Maker, but the process is a lot simpler for MV and VXAce. Due to the licensing of XP in 2003, you have to basically email them, like the creators of RPG Maker, they have a way to email them. Again, A-OK to sell the game. Like, most things they won't really decline or anything, but you have to get their express permission. With VXAce and MV, they just give it as part of the license, basically saying like, hey, yeah, so you can't resell RPG Maker itself, and the RPG Maker assets, this and that stuff, if you are making a commercial game, you have to credit the RPG Maker engine if you're using our default assets, yada yada, that sort of thing. But any game that you make with RPG Maker itself can be sold pretty openly, pretty freely, as long as, of course, you own the rights to everything you're selling. Like, I can't take a music track from some other game I don't have the rights to and sell that. But that's just, basic stuff. That any store you go to with the contract thing, obviously, you're not allowed to illegally use things that you don't have permission to use. Anyways, I think you get what I'm saying. Because, like, the same thing applies to any game engine. If I was working in Unity, I could import 3D models from, I don't know, Kingdom Hearts. But obviously, it's illegal for me to use that in a commercial product I'm selling. I'll probably get sued. Say, hey. Da 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 da. Yeah. Part of the fun. Anyways, here, let me see if the store page hasn't updated yet. I don't think it's updated yet. I'm going to see with this. There's a meme. Oh, did they remove it? I'm both bummed, but also happy. Okay, they did. So it still has very little information, a little bit more than I last looked. But I'm a little bit sad because there was a meme in the RPG Maker community about what this page said. Basically, it was kind of Englishy. Not too Englishy, but a little bit. And they kept on... Hello, Nifty. I noticed you. They kept on saying over and over again, is like, prepare to be wowed. And it was like, it said it like 6 times in the description in different paragraphs. Prepare to be wowed. And... but they weren't saying why we should be wowed. It was just... basically wait for further news to be wowed. And then a lot of people were like, I don't know, I'm not wowed yet. It's like, hey. But of course they still have a lot more details to reveal. I'm not going to egg on them too hard here. It was just a noticeable thing. But anyways, MZ was announced if anybody's curious about that. I'm curious about it because I make a lot of games for RPG Maker. At the moment, on the surface level, it just kind of looks like MV but with a layering system. But I'll have to dig more to see if they revealed more details since then. Rolls as it goes. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not going to judge. I will say this: MV on the surface looked pretty similar to VX8, except the tile size got bigger. So I'm not going to go full in on judging yet. The only difference I personally spotted while looking, having some experience in the RPG makers, is that they seem to have a new layer system for maps, which is a good addition and a long requested one. Basically, there is a mapping limitation that only XP fixes. In every other version of RPG Maker so far, maybe MC will finally be the second one to do this, there is a limited amount of sprites you can put on a single tile. There's not really a proper layering system. However, XP has a layering system, basically allows you to have multiple graphical layers to map out your stuff. And that makes a lot of people prefer XP because theoretically they allow up to 99 layers, which you really won't need that, but you can do it if you wanted to. And that allows there to be an easier process of mapping out more complex maps. But MV has more layers than VX8 or 2003 does, but it still is very restrained to where XP is. And so that's one of the features that a lot of people that really like XP in particular like to praise. How that said, though, it looks like one of the improvements MZ is trying to employ is a layering system similar to XP. So that is a good point, and that is a good addition. But for me, myself, and I personally, I can work with the layering system. I've worked with the layering system we've had for a while. It's a nice improvement, but I want to see more improvements. So I'll be like, do I want this day one, or do I wait? Because I'm pretty okay. I enjoy MV. And one of the weaknesses MZ is going to have out of the gate is that it's not going to have all the plugin support and the openness that currently is available with MV. So yeah. That's an interesting thing to say, LA. But there are different pros and cons to different versions. I could give a long breakdown, but anyways, there's plenty of sites and people that have done breakdowns on a similar topic before. Because some people will be like, well, MV is the newest one. Does that mean it's the best? I will say this, personally, MV is my favorite, but there are some negatives. One of the biggest negatives is that older RPG Maker games can run pretty easily. Like, they're very low processing power maintenance. The problem, one issue with MV is because MV uses Pixie and some other things, it's a pro and con. MV can do some cool visual things that the other RPG makers can't. Like the 3D system I'm using right now would not be possible in any of the other versions of RPG Maker. It would just not be possible. There's other 3D cheating things you could do, but it wouldn't be this in depth or this interesting. And the lighting system, shadow systems I use would not be exactly the same either. That said, that does also come at the cost of the game being a little bit higher performance. Like, it takes up more, eats more of your CPU. So on weaker computers, MV games will not run as well as some of the older versions of RPG Maker. There are optimizations you can make, and I've been learning a lot about that. Red Haze helped me learn a lot about how to optimize my games a bit better. But anyways, yeah. There are some times I have to sacrifice optimization for what I'm aiming for. One of the best examples I can give is in My Hole's a Mouth of Dirt. And for those who have played that game, in fact, I can probably show the area briefly. Hey guys, you want to see My Hole's a Mouth of Dirt for a second? Actually, would that work? Yeah, I guess it would. I'll just talk about it. I won't show it. What I was going to say, though, is that if you played My Hole's a Mouth of Dirt, which is the last game I released, it's available for free on Steam. There's a pier level, and on weaker computers, that pier will take forever to load. I've watched LPs. Most people who do LPs have stronger computers, so it only takes like a couple seconds for it to load. But the most recent LP, which came out a couple days ago, of My Hole's Mouth of Dirt, I could tell they were running on a computer more similar to the computer I made the game on, because my own computer, which I have upstairs, which is an older computer, would have difficulty loading that map. The thing is, I optimized the map. The map used to lag terribly. I used to not be able to achieve 60 frames per second. I used to run at between 30 to 40. But I did some optimization cheating to make it so the map was both what I wanted it to be and still ran at a pretty consistent 60 FPS. And I was really proud of myself because that took a while to do. And I was like, all right, I got it so the map doesn't feel choppy. The one downside and one thing is I could have made the map the load time go lower on weaker machines, but the issue with that is then I would have to compromise what I wanted to accomplish with the map. So I decided I've already got the map running at 60 FPS even on some weaker machines. I think the long load time on this particular map is just an area I'm going to have to take a little bit of a sacrifice on. So there you go. The fun when you try to do some more of the complex things, but just an example that came to mind because that was one of the things that I ran into in my holes and mouth of dirt. The reason that map had issues was because there's a lot of lighting effects going on, and there's a lot of events moving on the map, and there's like there's a lot going on, basically. But yeah. Also, it's a large map. The mixture of it, like processing the lighting systems over the map and the shadows, I think you get the point. The reasons why that map had some fun is because it's a large map. There's a lot of entities moving around the map. I have it so that they function in a kind of weird way, which you wouldn't know. There's lighting effects going on the map. There's shadows. There's a few things going on. I see you, Nepti. I responded to you earlier. Anyways, that's me going on my long tangents. I always do. Let's work on the washroom. Hey there, AJ. We're about to work on the washroom. Right when I was just saying that, that's kind of fun. So the kitchen's got the green tile. With the washroom, I don't really want the washroom to have the green tile. I forget, why did I make the blue tile again? Was it for a table somewhere? I haven't used it for a table anywhere in my memory. It's supposed to be a wall somewhere? No, I don't remember. For the washroom, I guess I'm just going to use kind of the room that's kind of like the main... This room is going to be very small compared to a lot of the rooms inside the game. So yeah. The only room that might end up means... Well, actually, I made the closet pretty big in the end. So yeah, you know what? This washroom is probably going to be the smallest room in the house. Horror is probably going to take a little bit to get to. You know. We have to start designing the first days of the game and getting a feel for what's going on. I guess for flooring... The tiling system might work, even though that contrasts a little bit with the bathroom a little bit. Let me also try and set up the door before I get this room set up, so I don't have to keep on going back and forth with some things. Okay, let me take this door, put it in the washroom. I love how my washroom is always cramped. It is for many people. I guess... Is the kitchen a bright room? I guess the kitchen could be labeled as a bright room. So let's make this the bright version of this door. Yeah, it's a bright enough room. Make the player face down. That's actually correct. And transfer them to the kitchen. The washroom, I will put the door to... Should be closer to here. I guess closer to here makes more sense. Okay. Fade in there. And because it's been a few days since I've worked on this, I have to do that thing where I have to remember that I have to set the dimensions for this in the negatives. So you are a negative 0.48. And you act pretty much the same, except I'm now going to do the opposite of what I just did and make you the dark version. Despite the fact that the room probably is not going to... I'll make it a little bit dark. I'll make it a little dark spooky going on. Transfer that, facing upward to the washroom. Alright. I know, the closet is literally bigger than my washroom. The closet's pretty big in this particular case. We'll see in a second. Should I get the stairs working yet? Nah, but I will link the bathroom. Yeah, this one should be bright. In fact, this exact door setup should basically be what I just did, but a little bit reversed. The bathroom, I'll put closer to here. The dimensions are good, except now I do the bright version of things. I'm just doing some basic back and forth switches. I'm just connecting rooms, don't mind me. Let's do direction fakes, go to the bathroom. Oh right, but how the bathroom is faced, it's going to be downward. Alright, so actually face down. And then take the washroom and go to the bathroom, except never mind, because I actually should take this and I should put it in the bathroom. And then have this. This is the right version. Yes. And transfer it not to the bathroom, but transfer it to the kitchen. Right here. Facing down and all that fun stuff. Alright. So I'm just going to make sure all the rooms are connected as we hope they're connected. They should be. I'd be very surprised if they're not, but you know, you gotta check. Alright, so let's see. Washroom, it's a room. It's like it's not detailed and the lighting's going to be all raw and everything's going to be all flat, but that's okay. It's still a room. Then we just walk on back over here and make sure the door to the bathroom is working and functional. Guess what? It is. Ignore you. Hi, you. Da-da-da. Things look fine. Things look dandy. I still need paints. Like, this corner looks a little bit too empty to me for how this house is decorated. But we'll get back to that later. I also have some ideas for this little corner here, despite the fact that we have that stuff set up there. But, hey. Alright. Everything seems fine for what we're doing with. And I do think we have enough to get the washroom going. Because the washroom doesn't really need to be that big, honestly. Alright, so with that said, and the sauna turned back on. Let's go to the washroom and put some stuff in it. Well, actually, first we have to open up again and get the stuff here into the right places. Take the select tool. Are you a 48 by 48 tile thing? I think you are, actually. Let's take you. Okay, there are some spaces here like I thought there would be for stuff. That painted stuff is there, that's all there. I think I can afford to cheat this a little bit and make it a little bit wider. Thank you very, very much to Cyber for helping with this, but let's see. I'm going to cheat a little bit because I feel like it should look a little bit wider than it is. And I can do that, I think, just by a little bit of cheat stretching. Okay. Development takes its time. Trust me when I say that right now there, Nifty. Now the one thing I'm concerned about, this should look fine. I can then move this stuff, no, not all that. This stuff, one over. And there we go, that makes the washing machine, I could even cheat just a little bit more. Distance them out a little bit. Look at all this cheating just to make the washing machine look wider than it is. Just to me, I typically imagine washing machines being a little bit wider, so. I don't know. I'm not going to think about it right now. I'm just going to work. That's what I've decided. We are going to do the actual design part. I think we're actually going to get done with the first day today, which will be great progress. Alright. I could. However, we got these and they look fine. In fact, I would even say they look more than fine. I think they look very good. Yes, it is very large. I don't know. In my experience, washing machines and dryers are very big. Am I wrong about that? I've always seen them pretty big. In my mind, yeah, Sten's been lurking. I'm assuming you know the Macchio. Hello there, Oloso. Alright, let me cheat this a little bit. In my experience, mine's is pretty big too. My. Cheating the system there, I'm Marion. Yeah, it's pretty much a large cube. Okay, this one I shouldn't make too much wider. Well, more accurately, I think. Okay, I see what I'm gonna do. I see what I'm gonna do to make this look accurate to me. So this size is fine, but the door is kind of huge. So I'm going to make the door a little bit smaller. Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit better to me. What did you do, Stan? What did you do? Shake them. Alright, tell me a funny story. I like funny stories. We got some towels. Nothing there. The towels can be put into a little stack there. Okay. Let's get the bleach there. So put it next to the washing machine. So yeah. Take the bleach. The bleach. Okay, let me say this. I'm not gonna downscale it, but scale-wise, that is a huge bottle of detergent. I think I'm calling it bleach, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be detergent. It's got a little bubble thing on it, but yeah. And oh my. I could make this smaller, but that would actually eliminate the details on it. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Here's something. Yeah, family size. It's almost as big as the washing machine. Okay, like imagine. Imagine if somebody is like, oh, we gotta prepare the laundry, better put the detergent in, and then they pull out a bottle in proportion and scale from this washing machine to this. Like imagine if somebody just pulled that out. Yep. I'm not. Here's the thing. It's actually really detailed. And let me say this right now. I understand 100% the dilemma of making small sprites for RPG Maker, because you have to put things kind of to scale. You can cheat a little bit. Nobody's gonna. Most people won't bust your ass if you're like make something a little bit off scale. It's whatever. No, most people don't really care. Maybe someone will be like, "Well, that doesn't scale correct," but most people don't care. Unless it's very noticeable, but there's a room of suspension of disbelief to be had. But I also understand the dilemma that RPG Maker sprites are very small, and it's very hard to fit details into something so little. So I understand exactly how this happened. This person got really into detailing the bottle, and it looks great. It's just the unfortunate thing is that in the process it got a little bit big, but you know what? That's fine. I've done the exact same thing. Is the thing. Yes. Still no. Am I there? I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Chrome's Mac, right? A few of my games work on Mac. Alright, ultra large, super huge. I'll believe it, but let me just say, because the detail is fantastic. The size is a little bit silly. There's one area I think I'd make it a little bit smaller without sacrificing the details. It's a very small thing. Okay. Yeah, I see what I need to do. Nah, whatever. I don't want to ruin the details because it actually does look good. It's the thing. Does that say "whoa cool" on it? I'm gonna see it in a second. No, it says like Zox something. Well, I think it said "whoa cool." That's okay. And now, so I'm gonna say this right now. I am gonna find, for some reason, I'm always adverse to spriting mops and brooms. Some people, 20% more. Makes sense. I'd say, personally, it looks a little bit more than 20% more, but I'm teasing. This is a fantastic broom, and this is a fantastic mop, and you'd be surprised how many times I've thought, you know what, I could spray a broom and mop, but I don't. I can guarantee you these two sprites are going to see a lot of usage. I know they will. I know myself. And I always don't want to spray a broom and a mop, So if I get another broom and mop to play with, oh, you're gonna see them. They're gonna be used. Da 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 da. Let's do it. Move this there. There we go. The broom is a weapon. Alright, so that's good there. I guess I'll keep it open in case I need it, and overwrite this there. Alrighty. And now that honestly might be enough to detail most of this, except I'm going to do some secret dimension trickery to get this all working how I want it to work. So, starting off, this can be one, and this can be the other. This sounds catchy, okay. I don't want to put the detergent right next to this stuff because it's going to bring attention to how fucking huge it is, but... What's the smallest thing? Well, maybe not smallest. Let's try... In fact, let's go to the fridge thing I was just messing with. The broom. And then we also do something else here. Make these... Not everything there. Just take this. This is going to actually be the smallest room in the house, so that's nice. Alright, it also puts us at 9 out of 12 of the normal versions of the rooms finished outside of adding details to them. How do you make the first person effect? It is done through two methods. It's first a plugin, I think it's called MD3D, and then after that it's going through expanding on the plugin's actual coding to do more. Okay, I'm going to launch one of my old games for an exemplification. So this is an old game of mine I'm about to launch up. Do I have it installed? If not, I'm going to install it eventually. I'll install it right now. Hey, Red Haze, you're not a whole gigabyte. It should only take a little bit for you to install. So, let it install. Give it probably just a few moments. Red Haze is still a game that's... Well, I don't like calling it incomplete because it is, but also the game at this point in time is like over 15 hours long, so, you know. I need to release that update patch, though it's a little bit tricky of the situation. Oh well. Big Daddy Detergent. Never buy more than one bottle. We guarantee you this will be the last bottle of detergent you'll ever need. It almost sounds like that's a threatening bottle. Like it's going to take your life. Yeah, Red Haze. You can fill up 2 full bathtubs with this bottle. Pat-Pat-lay. Ignore the 8th missing detergent. Behind the curtain. Some of you guys will be upset because I have a really solid idea for another Haze game, but I know I need to finish this one first. Don't mind me. Stuffy nose moment, which is what that was silence was about. Alright. Finish the last bit. I can see you at the 99 installing mark. Oh, I have a lot. Let me say this. At some point, sooner than later actually, I want to just sit down. I have not played many of the recent RPG Maker horror games. There's plenty. I've played a lot just in the past. I've played hundreds actually. But there's so many more out there and there's more. So I've got favorites. The thing is, a lot of my favorites kind of fall in the stereotypical lines outside of a few which... I don't want to say they're my favorites because, like, I really liked It Leaves, but It Leaves, recently the developer released another game which I know has been getting a lot of attention. It's that Cat in the Box game that everybody's been raving about. And I expect I'm going to love that game because it's actually made by a person who made a really short game I really liked, so. I forgot how small, every single time I haven't played Red Haze in a while, I forget how small the default window is. I'll resize it a little bit. Hello, Red Haze. Ignore the Halloween update that goes on a year long. Now, I don't think I've played Red Haze on this computer, and it doesn't save out my backup stuff, so I can just do it like this.
Once she was.
You guys want to listen to Rocket cuss like a sailor?
My name is Rocket. 23 years old. Was kicked out. I got
So-
by for a while, but my need for rocks and apparent. Moving on to supposed greener
fields. Alright, you guys want to
I've come
listen
to
to
get
her
by
talk
in
about
the
Cthulhu's
shitholes of
abyssal
society.
asshole? We got it.
the abandoned, the rotten, the decayed. And life's been good. I got hooked up with a clocker by the name of Auntie G. She provided the rocks, and well, I did what I had to do.
Am I there, Mary?
Fuck! Mother, fuck this spoon! Fucking right into Cthulhu's embezzle, asshole!
Halloween year long in Red Haze, don't you know?
There. Easy now. Easy.
I hope she's doing better. She's been tweeting, so I figure she's still alive.
Motherfuck of shit!
I'm busy with other
Going to have
things, so I
to see
haven't really
Auntie
talked.
G again, aren't I? Auntie G is still pumping, right?
The reason why I made the alive comment is Serene had actually caught Corona, unfortunately. I think she's fine. I mean, she's still tweeting, so I figure she has to be.
I don't want to go see that gutter slut unless I really have to. But I really don't want to go back to the crack in the box again.
Yeah.
I'm not going back to being a buffer again.
Yeah.
Never again. Fine! I'm desperate! I'll go see Auntie G. Look at me go.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
I mean,
such
I'm
a
a
chaser
person.
now.
My voice surprises a lot.
I
of people.
don't have
It's
much to
just
offer.
The voice I got.
But I'm desperate. I'll visit Auntie G and see what I can do for some pebbles. Off to Auntie G's apartment I go.
That's what they want. Alright, so this is an older game, and this game has a lot of depth to it, more than you probably think. In fact, that's one of my proudest things about it. It's got a lot more going on than first meets the eye. But at the moment, because I want to get to showing the system, I will just kind of rush through this and do what I need to do for a second. Yeah, it's a hub hole. Let's go inside. Ignore that. I need to remove that from having such a high chance of spawning. Alright, so since the first run, I'm testing some things. I'm gonna get caught by Edmund intentionally. Gonna pick up the key.
Well, Judy needs love.
Maybe that wasn't like the best version of her voice I've ever done, but yeah. I mean, Edmund's having fun. Yeah, Edmund's coming now. I'll go say hi to Edmund in just a second. Yeah. Alright, so, should I go say hi to Starry while I'm messing around with this for a second? Or should I just... Edmund's faster over there. I'm just gonna go say hi to Starry. I want Starry to say hi to me. And also that means the next time I have to play test this for something, I can just skip her dialogue the next time. Because this is the first time I played this game on this particular computer. Ignore the mousey. Bye, mousey. Alright, I'm ignoring all the different pathways just to say hi to Starry. Hi, Starry! Reach out to her.
Starry?
Oh, yes?
Alright,
Hey,
so
shithead.
hey. Yeah.
I thought I told you to get the hell out of here. This really isn't the place for someone like you to call home.
Oh, Rocket. Yeah, you did tell me, but, well...
I don't know. Frankly, I don't really like you on there, Dev. But that's okay.
Rocket!
Hey, what are you, deaf and dumb? I told you to leave.
We just
Squatting
ran by
here
a
ain't
mouse.
no place for someone as fragile as you to be hanging around at anyway.
Them have their cheesy moment, but that's
I
alright.
didn't want to leave you here all alone. I think staying together would maybe benefit both of us anyways.
My might I lie.
You're always being so stubborn and unwilling to accept any help. And I admit, I'm a bit naive and don't know the ropes of living homeless yet.
No.
Us runaways need to stick together.
Well, thank you, Colin. I think a lot of people,
No,
everyone
we
has light and
really
darkness in
fucking
them.
don't.
So, I'm going to say 3 things in response to 3 comments before I continue this. First one is everybody has light and darkness inside of them. You will typically find, in my experience, not everyone, obviously, but a lot of people that are really into horror are also usually very nice people, and I think it's because a horror is a way to explore dark sides of oneself and other things of, I guess, this is going to sound edgy as hell, and I know it's going to, but basically it's an exploration. If you can willfully and healthily handle your dark side, and just like entertainment and other things, you know, enjoy life, enjoy things. You might enjoy some of the darker things. That also means that there's an appreciation for life. I also think horror, a lot of people focus on the darkness of it, but a lot of horror is also about the struggle to live and the ability to enjoy life and see, even after horrific things, that there is still more to life than that. So there's a strangely optimistic side to horror. There's also the bleakness, and the bleakness can be great. But there's kind of a balance, I guess you could say, of what's good, what's bad, morally ambiguous and questionable things, but also at the end of the day, there's still people that are still just people, and people generally aren't fully bad or aren't fully good. So yeah, I see there. I mean, I like cartoons in general too, whether they be in the Western or Eastern variety. A little bit of a weak area for me, but yeah.
Listen,
Now-
kid, I get it. You're new to this whole hobo life thing.
Is there a term called reality horror? Probably. If it's popularized, I don't really know. Like,
It's all new and exciting for
horror
you still.
is
all glamorous or some shit.
interestingly
You think we
varied.
can be
Is the way
friends?
to word it.
But I don't need any of that naivety, and you don't need to settle on this shithole. Anyway, I told you to stay away from me. You give me the creeps.
Poor Starry.
What? Say that? I
So,
just think we can get by
I find
better
it
if we
funny
stick
that
together.
Starry's, like, because I've got the icon right there, I find it funny that Starry's face is just, like, staring into the window sobbing. It's almost
Everything
creepy.
is good. We could watch out for each other in these hard times and help each other take on the challenges we face. Would you mind if I tag along?
Danito's very... I might be like... A lot of people don't like Rocket's voice, but I think it fits her character perfectly, and I like the sort of ambiguous accents that she has. Which, yeah, I'm gonna do the options I never see anybody pick in Let's Plays. I'm going to insult her.
Fuck you! Like, seriously, you're being way too clingy. Lay off!
Yeah.
I really don't want anything to do with you. Just leave me be, please.
I'm sorry for being a bother.
You're not going to make me feel pity for you, so save it. Again, I suggest you get the fuck out of here and leave me the fuck alone. This place isn't for the likes of you.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm gonna talk with Starry a little bit.
But be careful, okay? I hear it's been dangerous around these parts lately. Rocket, are you happy? Do you ever feel like you simply aren't yourself anymore? I hope you know what you're getting yourself into, Rocket.
Nothing. I'm completely fine, and now it's time to get caught by Edmund. Because I'm not doing anything interesting this run, I'm just going the Edmund route. Ignore everything else. Now, Edmund should be around here somewhere. What path is he on right now? Actually, be faster for me if I went this way, probably. I can hear him. Oh, hi! There you are. Take me in your arms. Alright, so since this is the first time I've played Red Haze on this computer, I'm gonna have to wait a second. That's alright, I'll enjoy myself.
Would you like to play a game?
Alright, so in Red Haze, the first game I used sort of a Pseudo 3D system. It's obviously a lot less evolved than the one I'm currently using. There's a few reasons for that. But hey, it was the basis and the early works of it, so hey. I mean, it's been 3 years. Over 3 years now, actually, so I've actually been close to like 3.5 years. But ignore that. Let me see if I can remember how to find it before time runs out.
60 seconds.
Give me a little bit more time, myself. Around here? Okay, I'm getting closer. Fuck, I'm losing track. I'm not able to find it. I forget what, like, one of the better words to find it is. No, I found it. Hi.
Good job.
Hey, Zach.
Now let me find you.
What ending should I go for right now, just to end this off in the 3D section? I guess this way demonstrates the 3D engine, the full list of what it was like in 2017 when I was working with it. As you can see, this is a lot more basic than what I'm currently working with, but hey, we'll do it and get work done. Also should mention something, the engine doesn't have to have the pop-in thing that you're seeing it do here. That was actually semi of a conscious decision, just because I kind of liked how low-tech it was. I know it sounds kind of weird, but yeah. Like, the rendering could handle a lot more, but A, this may run better on weaker computers, but also, I don't know, because there's some memories I had of this very old dinosaur educational game that had terrible pop-in, but the pop-in made it terrifying when I was a kid. So yeah. Going to ignore, but this is an older thing. Don't worry, I'm just wandering. Ignore the creepy sounds. It obviously means nothing. Hi, don't mind me. Look at this ending. I'll just get to this ending. It's an ending. Don't want to spoil one of the 20-something endings. I think we're at 23 now. Are we at 23 now? That are, like, available publicly? It's either 22 or 23. You can skip the... So most people don't know this, so you can skip the credits really fast even on your first playthrough there. Yeah, we're at 23. Alright, well that's there. So, that was the earlier version of the 3D engine you're seeing here. Now, I don't mean to pat myself on the back, but I think it's come a long way since its simple beginnings. And, yeah. Like, actually a long way. I need to check the washing room in a second first. I'll just go to the bathroom and be like, yeah. Roll as it goes. It still has limitations. It's still, you know, working in the RPG Maker fun system, but hey. D is not available at this point in time, so 22 is the lock-in for me and you. So the walls are good, ceiling is neat. I accidentally put, oh, I know what's going on there. Okay, I know how to fix you. Washing machine stuff works for what it's going to be, even though from not this angle, because you won't be able to get this close, but from this angle it looks a little bit flat. You know, it's just part of the engine aesthetic, so. Yeah, and hey, Natural. The line of this area needs to be changed a lot, and I know what I need to do it to you. Room. Actually, that also means I need to go in here and then make this change. Export as not just the fridge. Did I call it closet? Oh, here's hoping I called it closet. I should definitely check before I do this. Okay, yes, I did call it closet. Good, I'm not crazy. Export to closet. Go inside here, and I'll change you to the closet version. Which should be down here with how it arranges things within the engine itself. Okay. And now, light system. A light against this wall, I think, makes the most sense. And that is a 3x3 there. The wall goes up to 3 here, but I think this would be good at a height of 2. Hopefully that height ends up working well. I forget what tile this used. I guess no ceiling kind of works well for this room's aesthetic. Alright, so before I start decorating more of the room, let's see what we got. Ignore the camera fun for a second. That already makes the line look a lot better in here before I alter anything else. And yeah, that stuff. The broom is faced the wrong way, but I know how to fix that. So. Alright, broom. I know what to do with you. I need to change your rotation to 270. It is a huge broom. This room is going to be kind of weirdly proportioned, but it'll work out. Trust me, maybe. And it's spring. It's alright, you did a great job, actually. Second, please. So let's do this. A few things to place around. Specifically, let's start not with any of that stuff. Let's. I think I can hang another picture in here and it will look good even. A picture here. Except actually no, the better basis would be to take a picture not from this room but from you. Alright, and what picture should I make you? I guess the heart thing. The heart thing, did I put the heart thing somewhere already? No. This is the room for it. Actually, no, this room, this painting will do. Except since it's going to be backwards. Well, here's hoping. Okay, I'm getting this correct. I'm gonna have to make sure this painting fits on this wall in just a second. But yeah, it might be backwards in a second. Yeah, one fell sweep with that broom, and the whole room will be better off. All right. Put the detergent bottle in this corner, so making it actually impossible to look at the detergent and the washing room thing at the same time. On the table, desk, fun. I'll take this cup system, except I'll put this on the desk. I shall put the mop here from a strange angle, except I shall rotate it. Not by the 90 degrees. In fact, I don't think it needs any rotation at all. I think it just needs to be 0 if I'm correct in my thinking. The Y is the axis that this should be pushed back a little bit on. Or no, the rotation can't be 0. It needs to be more like 30, maybe? Or maybe it's closer to like 330. Okay, I really need to check this room to make sure everything's looking okay. Here's hoping this room is working completely as intended and doesn't have a horrible mistake like it probably does. Well, there's already a horrible mistake, but let's first see if this stuff all is good. The detergent bottle needs to be pushed back a little bit, but just by a little bit. Alright, the painting, surprisingly, actually is in the perfect position. The mop... I did not mean to do that. The mop is actually leaning against the thing like I wanted it to. It's just a little bit the wrong rotation. Alright. So a few things to work out already. I wonder what I need to fix about it. Oh, geez, what a mysterious question. This needs to be put down. This was not through like it should be. Second, please. A little bit of a cold right now. I've had a little bit of a cough, but it's better, but I'm having to blow my nose because of that, and that's the reason why I keep on muting. Bit much there, natural. I feel fine outside of blowing my nose. So. Don't need to worry too much. Alright. So that should put this stuff in the right place. The painting was actually in the right position, which I was expecting it to have a problem, so that's fine. I mean, that's not just fine, that's good. Would this look better with the original 30 angle I was thinking? Or is that too much? Or is it going to be more like 145? I'm bullshitting this number for a second. Let's see what we got. Actually, well, for starters, I think I need to make this a 2D object too and put it in the corner. So I've got it's going to do the turning thing. That is not rotated the right way, but it's closer to what I want it to be. So yeah, that works fine. I know it doesn't have collision yet. I'll add collision in just a second. That no longer has collision, and that needs collision. Okay. The main thing I figured out from this. So you need collision. You need collision. Everything needs collision. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it's unfortunately, I mean, not unfortunately, it's just part of the game's aesthetic. I could make it a 3D object, but then it turns to face you, and that actually looks less natural than it looking flat. So, for some, like, imagine if washing machines turn to look at you as you pass by them. It's a little bit creepy to think about, actually. I guess the best example I can do is take you. Oh, okay, come on. I think this needs 0. 336. Let's try more like 340. Y. This needs to be a negative because how Y works. Okay. Need to also do more experiments of twisting this. So how about 230? That actually might be close to what I'm going for with this. Oh my. FNAF fun. Twist and turn right through this door. Where'd it go? You're getting closer to what I was hoping to get with you. Actually, very, very close. I didn't really think about it from that angle, but that even might be acceptable. Let me like see it from all angles. Do you guys think the lop's fine with this angle? Maybe I should turn it a little bit more, but then actually that is an angle where it doesn't look too flat. Like you see it's flat here, but it's part of the aesthetic really. Yep, the detergent apparently ate it. There can only be one detergent. It looks okay. I think I could turn it a little bit more. I've decided. It's close to what I want it to be, but it's not quite there. So that's a 50. Would it just be 50? Okay, so what happened to you? Why did you vanish? $30 more brooms. Precisely. Rotation should have eliminated you. Is it the y-axis thing? But that shouldn't be far enough to kick you off the map. What happened to you? Show me where they hurt you. Let's put y at 0 before I continue. Let's see what happens there. I mean, messing a little bit with this box of detergent and that, so. Are you up here? Where are you? I know developer chain to obtain that. Okay, no, that did not make that better. So then would it be like 50, oh, it's like 130? Not 130, 140. I don't know what happened to you. Where are you going that I can't follow? So it's obviously not this. And the rotation thing should still be like viewable from a different angle, so I don't actually know what's going on with this. Is the road thing wrong? Let me look here. It shouldn't be. What? There's probably some minor typo somewhere I'm just not spotting. I don't see it immediately. Let's put you to 90. Not 90. Let's put you to 200. Let's see what happens. There can only be one, apparently. Head back for you. I don't know where it's going. You're getting closer to what I want, but you're not quite there yet. Is it? Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I know what's wrong. I'm stupid. I just figured it out. Okay. I know what I was doing wrong. I need to put this here on the z-axis. It's gonna be floating, probably. Let me put to the thing I actually think of it. It's either gonna sink in or float a little bit. Okay. I think what was happening is that I forgot to set the fence stuff needs some special properties. I think the z-axis thing was making. In fact, if I remove the z-axis bit entirely, here's an experiment. And now you. I'm getting closer to what I want you to be, but not quite there. So then 180. I already tried 230, so that'd be 270. So it'd be 320 that I'm looking for. Let's find out. Aha! And it doesn't look too flat from this direction. It looks kind of flat. The broom looks too flat at the angles app, but again, closer to what I'm aiming for. I think if I just up it a little bit more, then yeah. Okay. So set you to a rotation of 220, and let's see what that looks like. Let's set you to a 340. Let's see what we got going for us. Yeah, it's backwards, but I'll fix it. Don't worry. I just first want to see if I can get things okay. Broom, I need to go the opposite way with you. Okay, I understand now. You. Set you to a 50. And you go backwards. Set you to just 300. I feel like this, it's not going to be perfect yet, but I feel like this is going to be pretty close. I've got that gut feeling now. Alright, so it's forward. Not as slanted as much as I was hoping, but getting there. The broom is closer to what I'm hoping it'll be. Now let's make sure it looks okay from all angles. There might be a it's okay if like you can tell it's flat. That's okay. I just don't want, okay, there's one angle you can like not see it. That's what I'm trying to avoid. It looking like it's flat doesn't bother me. But it needs to look not like it's like invisible from a certain angle. That's what I'm trying to avoid. Let's try 290. And you. Let's try 80. Put you in the corner there, and let's see what the results are. For some reason, you're just not rotating now. That said, the broom is almost perfect. Yeah, now you don't really see it as fully flat from any standing angle, and it looks like it's leaning against the wall like I was hoping. I think it's about as good. Like, obviously it looks kind of flat there, but that's not what, I don't care if it looks kind of flat. It's part of the engine. It's unavoidable, really. But what I was going to say, what I was trying to avoid is that it's not like you can't stand in a position and it looks like nothing. You can still tell it's there, so. You, I need to mess around with a little bit more. For some reason, you're not turning. Oh, actually, it's because I forgot to close the brackets. They got deleted. That was a typo. Let's see what you are now. Alright, so this might be a little bit too turned. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit too turned, but closer. I think 50 was the right one, it's just the brackets weren't closed. Basically, if you can tell it's a mop, then that's what's important. It looking like it's flat, it's gonna, and people will adjust to it. It's part of what the game engine will make it look like. So that's clipping a little bit through the wall, but outside of that, it's mostly good. Okay. So the way to make it not clip through the wall would be, because that's turned this way. Let's first try turning it less and see if that makes it clip more or less into the wall. Less. In fact, it's not clipping the wall anymore. Alright. That's what I was going for with you. Ends up working. Laundry room looking okay. Now let me also remind myself, I'm going to put the heart poster in here as well, I think. But in kind of a weird place. What room was it I did? It was you, so I need you. I'm going to put the heart poster above this. And this should actually be near perfect what I want from it. Except it might be turned backwards in a rotation. Try 270, and I bet this will look okay. Checking this out in just a second. Also, a bucket should be in here. And yeah, the get well thing is in here. So yeah, a little bit of a creepy poster, but just having fun looking at you, so hey. more things to roll with. Yeah, just saying hey. Alright. I'm not going to put a ceiling on this map. I think this and the closets just have an open ceiling. That's a certain feeling for me. A few more things to put down, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. So that stuff put down. The towels. The towels are next. I think the towels should rotate at the camera. That one, for some reason, I don't care as much as I do about the box. Towels can rotate. Just put a fresh stack of towels right there. Except I do need to make sure that's a little bit further back, like the cups and stuff here. I was thinking about, I don't think we have a laundry basket on hand this very second, but it could be an addition a little bit later. And it makes sense against the wall specifically is what I was thinking about that. Towels. And now let me make sure they don't clip in the wall. They clip in the wall. Gosh darn it. I don't know why. I don't like, even though it doesn't make that big of a difference, I don't like you being able to look at them and be able to tell that they're clipping into the wall. So, push you out a little bit less. Let's try 20 and see if that ends up working. Alright, towels, are you going to be the bane of my existence for a little bit? Don't really care if you turn to face the camera. I can already see it. I can see you clipping to the walls into my mind's eye. It's just a little bit. Also, if I move you too much away, it'll be too close. Alright, let's try 16. Let's hope this isn't too close and not too far. Yep. The towels just keep on clipping out of reality. Almost there. We got cinematic black bars this time. Not intentional, but yeah. Alright. You don't get too close to the edge. If I look at you from a certain angle, you don't like lean off. Okay, from here. So close. That's so close, boss. I'm a little bit worried to push out much more. Okay. Okay, is it 14? It's 14 what I'm looking for. Is it not too far off so it looks like it's leaning off the table when you're staying next to it? But yeah. Put this through. Okay, from this angle, this one doesn't look like it's coming off the table. It almost does there, but it doesn't. Yes, I'm a stickler for this for some reason. And now it does not clip. Okay, yeah, it doesn't go through the wall. All right, that's the towel angle. Towel angle figured out. Now, whenever we have a laundry hamper, I think I'm gonna put it back here. That looks like the place the best fit for it. So, but not yet. They could probably hang a little bit, but you know they're good. They're not hanging off here, and they look fine. So yeah. Takes a sip of water. For this version of stuff, I think everything is fine. Alrighty. Even the lighting works for me. So I think, obviously, like every other room in the game, I might add some details. The laundry hamper is one thing that I agree is a touch. That was actually my list. Grayson might end up doing it, or I could do it if I need to. It's not very hard to spray a laundry hamper, at least not. But hey, I think we have enough to actually get started with the game. I connected the doors like we wanted to. So, technically, our first of 2 goals to get done today, done. Now time for the one that will take a little bit more time, which I'm also going to pause the music for. It's the step where we actually have to start designing the game. So at the moment, this house, as according to our map here, is supposed to have 12 rooms. Currently, give me a second. We have the front entrance hall, the normal version, done. We have, when I say done, I mean like it's mostly completed. I might change and add some details to it, but you know what I mean. We've got that done. We've got the living room done. We've got the kitchen done. We've got the laundry room done. Ended up being smaller than it is there on the map. We've got the bathroom done. The closet was moved up here, but it's done. We've got the hallway done. We've got the bedroom done. This room was eliminated. So really the only rooms we have left, like the sprite, is this room, whatever we end up, like the room down here. This room, whatever we ended up deciding it to be. The dining room, and the bedroom. So we have 9 out of the 12 planned rooms taken care of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. So that's good progress. Part of the fun. Part of the fun. And that's enough to get day 1 of the game done. In fact, for day 1 of the game, technically, here's how I think. Oh, wait. Wait. Oh, dear. I had a late realization why we shouldn't design the game yet. Maybe write it, but not design it yet. I forgot something. A really obvious oversight, too. You're right. Thank you for reminding me, Colin. In fact, let me write that down now. Reminder from Colin. Make the side living room a study room. Well, yeah, study room, basically. There's a big oversight that I just realized. So, I forgot it's a lot easier to design with the portraits already done. As in, I probably need to request character portraits from Nebulous, because Nebulous was saying that they're willing to tackle them, and they almost have their computer back, but not quite. I need to send them a list of things to Sprite. Not Sprite, but Draw for this, so. And the reason I was spacing on this until this very moment when I started thinking about the actual design, because, you know, when you talk to the character portraits pop up to express emotion. And that's actually harder to add in after the scene is finished than it is to add in the process of making. The reason why is it has to do with the tempo of the scene. So, and how RPG Maker works is that the events listed out are in a chronological order. So when you add an addition at the bottom of the page, it sends you, like, it happens at the bottom. If you add them, like if you go back up and add an addition to the scene, it's a longer process because you have to then go to that moment and make sure you click in the right spots for it to pop in as opposed to the moment it's supposed to appear at. Hopefully I explained that kind of decently. I don't feel like I did. Tricky, Ryan. Because technically all the rooms are finished, but the one last piece of the ingredient that we're missing to get started with the actual design process is the character portraits, because those would appear when you're talking. Even though the sprite work is done, the rooms that would appear on day 1 are done. Alright, well, I guess let's do this. I need to send an email to Nebulous. In fact, I will go to my email stuff and I'll get ready to... let me get Nebulous's email. There we go. Nebulous thankfully had that available. Of course, I will not show their email on stream. I'll have to move this out a second, but you guys will be able to see it, so it's okay. Alright, so I need to make a list of character portraits to request of Nebulous, who is willing to support with this. Also, I need to minimize that and expand this for a second. Is that enough room? RPG Maker Gods. There we go, that's enough room. Recipients, and that's not on the stream, is it? No, it's not really. Alright, that's good. So, subject, character portrait request for uwu Kokoro Love Sick. A moth or something just flew in my face. For Sophie. Hello, hey. Finally getting to the part I can request some character portraits for the game. As to not overload you, I'm limiting myself to 8 portraits. These can be drawn bigger. There's benefits to that. But no, they'll ultimately be fitting on a window that is 720 pixels wide and 520 pixels high. Though, of course, the character portrait wouldn't show on the whole window. Though, but below, but behind the text box to one side of the screen. Don't worry. I can position it easily. I think we should do a thigh up thing, like most visual novels, and try to express different emotive responses. So I have now limited myself to 8. So let's think about this. And this is an actual topic of discussion, so I'm going to open up the board to this because I'm going to write this here. Alright. Character portraits. And you guys can read the font. Should I make the font a little bit bigger? Can you guys read what I'm writing on the screen here? Character portraits to request of Nebulous. It's fine. Good to know, good to know. Seeing and hearing is believing. Alright. Also, I'm going to quickly put another song in here. Outside the song we've had on loop for a little bit, just because I like music. It makes the silence not feel as quiet. Let's... Okay. So, we need to think about what portrait stuff is here. Now, if you wonder what I mean by character portraits, I'm like 90% sure I can easily find visual. That was just spelled visual. Visual novel character portrait. Just to like show a brief example of what I kind of mean. This is an upper bust type one. To the left, we see a typical daily or visual novel type thing where you kind of see it from the thighs up. Here's an example of some talking there in a video game. Here's one from the waist up. Here's one from there. Here's one from the thigh up. You kind of like this type of thing. I think you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, right? I'm sure you get it. Here's a few there. It's the character portrait, a staple of the visual novel, and many other types of things like JRPGs, etc., etc. Now, their point is to express emotion and characterization that the sprites or models or whatever in the game cannot. Yeah, either on Marianne. I think we're gonna go for thigh up, but think about 8. Universally, 8 emotions that we can cycle between to express emotion from the character portrait. Now keep in mind, when they talk to Sophie, they're going to end up saying a lot of these 8 pieces of art, so... Over sprite fun. Yay. So to think. Because we don't have I don't want to push too much on Nebulous. I might even, if possible, I might even limit the 8 one, but at the same time, it's like, the player will end up, whenever they talk to the character, like I'll talk to Sophie, end up saying a lot of these, what do we need, what do we want, they should be emotive, and all that fun stuff. Now, some of them are pretty basically, you can be like, oh, one of them, she's happy, one of them, she's sad, one of them, she's angry. But then also you have to think about how to best express that. I do trust Nebulous's eye for emotion from what I've seen from them, so... That's true. And thank you for mentioning that, Lay, because even though it's really obvious, I was kind of spacing on this. You need your static default for a pose. Static default pose. Simple smile. Sort of standing there. I'm a little undecided on where the hands, on where she places your hand, or places her hands. I could see her holding them behind her back, or maybe one on her hip, one hanging out. But frankly, I am open to wherever you want to place them. Alrighty. My Marion. There's so many emotions that humans experience, but since we have to limit ourselves, a static one is a good call because you need the static default one. And hey, they're nifty again. You guys have some good suggestions there. Let's see. We ended up seeing her cry. I guess yes, that's possible. Surprise. That's a good one. That's like a really good one. Surprise. Hand over mouth. Pupils a bit smaller. Taken aback a bit. The problem is if we have two dedicated to sad, that already takes up like 1/4 of what we're asking for. So you're gonna realize really quickly you have to think within limitations. If we were gonna ask Nebulous a shit ton of things, I'm sure Nebulous would try to take them on because Nebulous is very nice, but I don't want to push too much on them, so I'm restraining ourselves to 8. Turned around, like seeing her from behind. That's an interesting one, Sten, and one you almost never see. That is fascinating that you said that, and it started making me thinking. Actually, I like it. I have an idea for it. Here's an unusual one, and I know this takes up a slot, but I have an idea for it. Except maybe, Okay, I'm going to actually decline that. It is a really interesting idea, and it's one that is very unusual, so seeing it gives a weird feeling, but because we only are going to be asking for 8, the turnaround effect can be achieved by the sprite within the game, because, we have the sprite from behind. So when you're standing with her back turned, I think would achieve ultimately a similar effect. I do think if I was going to ask for more, I would ask for it because it's a position of the character portrait you almost never see. And so it sort of creates a weird feeling like, why do I see the behind of them? That sounded worse when I said that out loud than it sounded in my head, but all the same. And yeah, talking about character fun. Alright, so static was a good suggestion. Back up. Anger. Pouty anger. I'm going to say pouty anger. Pouty anger. A bit upset, but not too upset. Being pouty and a bit and a little fierce in her positioning. Maybe hands and fist pushed downward, front of her, puffed out cheeks maybe. Last up. To whirl and go. Happy. Maybe eyes closed, bigger than usual, and open smile. Head slanted. Where did the arms go in that, though? Delighted. Suspicious is a hard one to say. And I'm also wondering, would the contrast happen elsewhere? Where would her arms go in the happy thing? Maybe holding her hands in front of her. Maybe to her sides. Maybe holding her head with one of her hands, like against her cheek. Well, if she's hugging herself, that'll make her look like she's laughing at you. Yeah, flexing. That makes her look like she's proud. It's very interesting how body language works, how just subtle differences, and even like where your arms are positioned, gives a completely different message. Anyways, to roll with and go with. One hand on cheek, both hands makes it look like she wants, like that one might look a little bit fake, but maybe fake is good. Maybe one hand on, heart's interesting. One hand on her cheek, and possibly one across her heart. That's an interesting one to think about. Okay, I know a very anime one, which I'm going to suggest here. Slightly ashamed, poking her index fingers away and looking downward, not in the eyes, a bit exasperated, and almost like apologizing. You guys know what I'm going for? Jazzing. Teehee. Sorry, my mistake. Type of expression. And already we're over halfway through these. You'd be surprised how quickly you'll run through these. That's actually an interesting suggestion. Possibly with her tongue out a bit. That's a great one, Sten. Confused stare. Maybe, you know what? Maybe surprise. Oh, but then confused could be like, God. When you start realizing, like, I know when you first say, like, A is like, oh, 8's enough. But then when you start really going, like, working through, you're like, wow, there's a lot you have to, like, narrow down just to get it down to 8. So. Do we have anger? We do not have anger yet. We have pouty, but except maybe pouty near she. I'm not sure. Actually angry. Red-faced, scowl, eyes narrowed, yelling. Maybe even pointing. Clearly upset. I think I will need that for something, actually. Shrugging, there's some good suggestions here. What will we limit it to? Confused is good for what we're doing for with this. Confused and puzzled. I'm going to push this up to 9. I'm sorry, Nebulous. I think that we need one more than one I'm asking. At least one. I'm not going to push it above 9 because I think that's starting to ask for too much. Poor Nebulous. I know. I'm like, But, you know, when you start actually going through the number of human emotions, you start realizing, like, wow, 8's surprisingly hard to limit yourself to. Confused and puzzled. Like, an expression of what do you mean? Head tilted a bit. Mouth slightly open. Confused. Drowsy or tired would be cute, but I think that we need a few more. Like, I'm trying to think of what's needed here. Not to mention, you don't really ever find her in your house. She always coming to your house. So, in her house, I mean to say. Disappointed in the face. Oh, I know one. Devious. Raised eyebrows. Laughing. A bit. Mischievous. Giggling to herself. And with an "oh really" type look on her face. I don't think we're gonna get to the point of a lovey-dovey expression on her face. I want to kind of refrain from going too far there because this game has some weird things going on with Sophie. Tense thoughts, interesting. So what do we think should be the last emotion? At the moment, I'm going to change our mindsets for a second. What should be the last one of what we might need from her in character portraits? Currently, we have her static default pose. We have her surprised, taken aback a little bit. We have her being pouty angry. We have her being happy, big, open smile. We have her slightly ashamed, poking her index fingers together. I don't think she's going to get sad, and there's going to be reasons that she doesn't get sad before you say, oh, should we get sad? I don't think she's going to get scared. I think that she has a little bit more control over the situation than her character does. In fact, I think it's better if she's more confused by her actions than if she's like, say, she herself is scared or she herself is sad. Because I think those two emotions, this is going to sound weird for me to say, I want to refrain from humanizing her in certain ways. Like in this example, her being afraid of the situation her character is very afraid in, or her being, I guess you almost say sympathetic to her situation, almost like our words can't hurt her. Does that make sense? Slightly ashamed, poking her fingers away and looking downward, not in the eyes, actually angry. So actually angry, confused and puzzled, devious. Alright, but what should be the last one? Dismissive might be able to be combined with confusion, though I mean if we had like more slots it'd be good to have it as its own separate thing, but yeah. Oh, confidence, a good one. Confidence actually a very good one. Are you guys okay with confident, or do we think of something else here? Haughty, looking like you're a fool. That one's also good. To roll with and go with. If anyone wants to suggest anything else, they may. But currently, between confident and haughty, what do you guys think? And by the way, haughty's not like H-O-T-T-I-E. I'm meaning like, I might be mispronouncing it, but it's the one where they're like looking at you with like this natural right there as a fool, like above you and all that. Cocky is somewhere between those two, I will say that. But should we combine them, or would it be better? Because cocky's a little bit different than acting haughty. Haughty's a little bit more worse than being cocky, because cocky is being full of yourself, while haughty is more like disdain towards someone else. And then confident doesn't need to be cocky. So there's actually a distinction between these three, so... I'm either way. Nah, sorry, stuffy nose fun. isn't back from your regularly scheduled. Ryan has us colds right now. Let me pay attention to something. What music do we pick again for this character? Because I have the music organized here a little bit. 40. We chose the themes previously. And it's the stuff by Arknight. So let me think about when emotions fit with the music that we chose for our character scenes. Some of this can also come from our own character fun, so yeah. Still though, there is one which I realized we don't have, which would actually work perfectly with one of the themes and might work well with this. Okay, let me think about what we need out of what's here. And I'm going to resist adding a 10th because I think that's asking a little bit too much. Once you get to the double digits, I think that's asking a little bit too much of Nebulous. Especially they have delivered in a, reasonable amount of time. So, static is a necessity. There is no way we don't have a static one. Alright. I think we can get rid of surprise. I think surprise would be nice to have, but it's not needed. I know it's an emotion that people normally suspect, but I think also going with her things, if she doesn't seem surprised, I think that might add something. Here's the other thing. I don't want to push her towards looking like anime crazy, if that makes any sense. If she seems crazy, I want it to be the sort of straight-faced crazy. Not the face like she had a crazy look in her eyes. I want it to be more subtle than that. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. I think confused and puzzled works a little bit more there. Okay. Pouty anger. I think that's important to have. Happy. I think that's important to have. Slightly ashamed. I think that's important to have. Actually angry. That's going to be important for a specific thing. Confused and puzzled. That will also be very important. Devious. Now, does devious... Does it... Doesn't go with happy slightly? No, devious stands on its own pretty well. Roll with as it goes with. Okay. So for normal conversation, static pose, a little bit of pouty, happiness, slightly ashamed, that can, and a little bit of deviousness can work well. Sten, I have an idea that's kind of up your alley. Now I'm thinking... flirty. We have a flirty theme. We're missing a flirtatious thing. Flirty. Blushing a bit. Maybe holding a finger to her lip. Or, alternatively, parting her hair. Leaning in a bit. Seem understandable to you guys? I realized I didn't have a flirty bit, even though we have a flirty type theme. Anyways. Cold, straight face, dull, narrow eyes, arms crossed. That's an interesting one as well. Let me see. That one has the devious, other things going there. Reverie is more of a calm, talking theme. Does she have more than just your stack face for that? Yeah, there's things that can go with it. But that'll be fine. Then we have that. Confuse can work well if we're not going to make her get too much of the other stuff. This last one is going to be tricky. I'm going to avoid doing like the yandere face thing. Though a lot of people like that, including myself. I don't think this is right for her character or her roles in this game, so... Blank is interesting, or cold, so... Cold is a good one. Alright, I've decided. Cold. Uncaring. Distant. Arms crossed. Not expressionless. But clearly having a wall between you and her. Alright, so does the static default simple smile standing there position work? And then the other ones, flirty, pouty anger, happy, slightly ashamed, actually angry, confused and puzzled, devious, and cold seem like an okay assortment? Or do you guys think we should replace any of them with something else? Fun? Alright. Now obviously, if we had more time and we were actually paying the... hey, we have to focus on the variety of what we want to capture, so yeah. Fix a few. Oh yeah, there were a few typos here and I can already see them there, but thankfully autocorrect. Thank you, autocorrect. Here's a list of 9 poses the chat and myself came up with to request. Very much. Thank you very much for offering to help. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, and there. And the email's been sent, so that finally is done. So technically it's something done, but there's still more to... I mean, I'm going to be awake for a while, so I'm thinking, if we can't start the actual game design yet, and we don't have enough sprites done to do the stuff for the other bits, spriting is an option. I'm going to be honest, I really like spriting right now. Then what to shift gears to? We do have the kitchen done. We do have the closet. Well, I mean, that's done for where we are right now is what I should say it as. We basically have all rooms in the house but 3 done, but we need need a little bit more work for the study. We need a little bit more work for the second bedroom. We need a little bit more work for... What was the other room? Actually, are we at... Are those the only rooms that we have left? Let me relook at the map. We have the study. We have the second bed. Oh, yeah, right, the dining room. Right, dining room. Dining room has a little bit more done than the other two things that we need to do, but yeah. I also still need more paintings and posters. You'd be surprised how quickly you exhaust that if you're trying to make a house that doesn't have a lot of blank walls kind of going on. But yeah. Let me think then. I could design the very beginning, but again, that'll be easier once we have the portraits and then practice with them a little bit. Then again, the girl isn't in your house. Well, actually, no, on the first day, she should be here. Because, right. I guess I can lay it out. I have this in my head, but I haven't actually written it down yet. So I guess I can write down something. Games, day structure. Day 1. Or I guess I should say this. Phase 1. Normal. Day 1. Stay in your room. Your friend Sophie came over to visit. Don't really get to explore. Plays more... In fact, let me move this up for you guys. Plays more like a visual novel on the first day as she leaves and sends you off to sleep from your cold, from your sickness. Day 2. Get to move around your room a bit before a knock on the door. She comes back to visit and says hi. Can't leave room, but can walk around and observe things now. Day 3. This time, the doorbell rings, and you get to answer it, but transfer immediately from your room to the front hall when you do. Go back to room, talk, basic things. I'm also going to come up with some conversation changes. I'm just trying to come up with how the day-to-day room structure works for a second. And the days aren't going to be too long. I'm not going to make them overstay their welcome and all that. And I might come up with something to happen between the days as well, but first, come up with the basic day structure. Day 4. Same thing. Doorbell rings, but this time you get to explore more of your house. Go down the hallway, downstairs, skip to the entry hall to let her in. This time, you two hang out in the kitchen. I'm going to make this go on to day 8 until things start getting weird. And by the way, the days are not going to be that long. They're probably each going to take somewhere around 10 minutes. So, to give you guys a heads up on that one. Some of them shorter, some of them a little bit longer, but yeah. I want more of the house to slowly get available as the days go by. Day 5. Repeat, except this time also go through the living room. And now Sophie follows you around the house some. Can freely explore your room, hallway, living room, dining room, kitchen, bathroom. Some scenes can happen. before letting her leave again. Actually, I'll make it go up to day 6 before things start getting weird. I think day 8 might be a little bit excessive, but day 6 sounds like it's going to be the right point. Day 6. Similar to day 5, but this time something slightly wrong. Also, this is when you start noticing doors are locked at the moment, I should mention. Start noticing there's locked rooms. Different events, but get a key that unlocks the laundry room with something a bit strange about it. Which will then lead us to phase 2, paranoia. So moving from phase 2 to paranoia to this, let me move that there. Set that there. And also the theme music for this should be more like, not that. I guess that's the door thing for this side. Such memories there. Settling house there. Darkness here. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Except it should be closer to... Not that... Okay, I think I know how many days this game is going to last. There's actually a really good basis for it, too. Day 7. Day 8. Day 9. Day 10. Phase 3. Rust is what I'll call it. And this one has a day 11 and a day 12, and then phase 4, silence, which should only be day 13. So 13 days. You might be thinking, Ryan, could you make it 14 days? Yes, I could, but I think this is the right amount when I was thinking about it out loud. So house takes on a darker tone, lighting changes, more dreary and dark feeling. Sophie is still let in today, but doesn't follow you around. Something weird going on within the house. Day 8. Sophie comes again today, but for once you don't actually have to let her in. It's a choice. End up unlocking, I guess the study would be the room to open up here. Weird stuff. Day 9, Sophie doesn't even come. House is silent. End up opening the closet and the second bedroom. That's the only house that wasn't accessible. Various changes in houses too. To this variety, you don't let Sophie in at all. She's already in. Weird scenes with you and her. I'm going to word this really. I understand what I mean by this, but no one else probably will. Let's do weird paranoia type things. That's a great description, man. Rust. House enters dark phase. That's all I'm going to word this as for the moment. And then dark exploration. And then the final day. That's how I'm going to describe it in my notes at the moment. So yeah. Is what it is, what it is. Stretch out these limbs. Which I guess means also the dining room is the next room to sort of focus on, which makes sense. We got the most stuff done for the dining room out of the 3 rooms that we still need to complete, so yeah. I guess I should write a list of things that we need for the dining room, but it should be fine. Okay. So, with that decided, I kind of tackled that myself, but I kind of knew what I was going for with it, so... A thoughtful thought to me. Could I do something else here right now, Kokoro, that would be interesting for the stream? I could write the script, but I think it's more interesting to see in motion. So that should probably wait a little bit more for the actual portrait stuff. That makes some sense to me as well, so... The house is not mostly designed for the normal version. We still have the other, 3 rooms to go. And then we later have to do the dark versions of each room. But I'm going to wait to do the dark rooms. They're going to be mainly just alterations. The rooms that are already there. It's the nightmare versions, which are going to be very different. But, it's part of the fun of it. So, yeah. To think, and to see. I guess... Maybe it's best to work on another project right now. I still feel in a very productive mood. But I think what I can do on stream that would be interesting for this is done for now. Who here is still with me? Because I'm going to think for a second. I was planning to get started with the game design today, but I stupidly spaced that we still don't have I haven't requested the portraits, so we don't have them. It's not Nebulous's fault at all. I haven't requested anything of Nebulous until now. But yeah. Also, I know that Nebulous was in a position that their computer died, which is unfortunate, but they're getting a replacement. But yeah. But resolving itself. So hello, my fellow humans. Should we work on another project for the time being? I could tell you what I'm up to. You do not the game, but it's kind of important for the actual story process, and I'll explain why. The portrait stuff, not like a new game. Let me clarify that. I mean like another thing that's currently still in the works. You are able, but it's actually easier to add them at the forefront, and I'll explain why. The portraits in RPG Maker take usually step-by-step movements. This is a little bit hard to explain. Oh, I know what to show it. Okay, let me open up Anecdote. Anecdote is the best way to demonstrate this. Okay. I'm gonna quickly go over here, go to New Volume, go to this version of RPG Maker. There you are. So I need to open up 1.52 so I can show the thing with Anecdote, but yeah. Oh yeah, I still have the game open. Ha. Hello, RPG Maker 1.52, which is now open. There we go. Move out of this, because the 3D doesn't actually work in your version, and let's go to Anecdote. Did I put Anecdote... Oh wait, have I not I might have not downloaded Anecdote yet. I have that in my drive. I know that one for a fact. Let me check one other thing. I didn't just put it in here, did I? No, I did not. Alright, give me a second. Thankfully, I can put this on the screen for a second. Thank you very much, Lay. And let me open this, go to my Google Drive. I still haven't downloaded all my old games from my Google Drive yet. Go to my drive, go get Anecdote. That should be in my project backup. There you are, Anecdote. So, download this folder. Zip that up. Part of the fun. Not that. Anecdote is downloading. Give it a second to do its anecdotal things. While we're waiting for this to download, I fucking love the soundtrack for Lamb of Affliction, which is going to be one of the Foundorium 11.x games. I know I've played parts of it before, so if you've been to some of the past streams, not like of this project, but just generally, and it sounds familiar, that's the reason why. I was just thinking about that because there's some connection between Anecdote and Lamb of Affliction, and I was just thinking about it. Let me go fetch that briefly, because Lamb of Affliction has an amazing soundtrack. I'm just gonna, after I let it load for a second. Hey, hey. Let's start with you. Let's first alphabetically. I like shoegaze, okay? Now it's done. Sorry for surprising you during the emotional Final Fantasy XIV scene. Yeah, of course I don't know that, but yeah.
Feeling like I'm slightly lost in time. Lost in
Alright,
time.
there's the place to drop it off in.
Borderline, I can see my sanity slipping away. Wonder if we'll make it out alive. Out alive.
Alright, there's Anecdote, and I can finally open it. Anyways, launching this up. Alright, it still has that launch issue until I do the NW. I forgot about that even with playtesting. How did I forget about that? That was the very issue why I can't work on some of the games easily. Alright, well I know what I can do. I can deploy it. I want to encrypt it because it doesn't matter right now. Alright, deployed. I go to this folder where I have games output. And now I need to take the basis of this stuff to make it playable. Basically, I need to take everything except the package take all of this, go inside anecdote, delete everything except the www thing and the package, delete all that, and replace it all with this. And now it should work. Also, I forgot I made you guys can't see it, but I made a fancy mouse for this game. Let me display my cursor for a second and just see if it actually displays it. Properties, capture my cursor. Yeah, you do see it. Look, it's my fancy cursor. Look how fancy I am. Have you guys seen the anecdote of the town that vanished? Which is, by the way, going to be a found horror game, 11.x game. I know I've shown a little bit of it before, but you guys like actually seen it for those who are here present at the moment? I don't know if people are here at the moment. You have not their wonder sign. Alright, so this is kind of a weird, artsy type thing for found horror game. You've seen that one trailer. Makes sense. Somewhere along the coast, where the land meets the sea, you may find the town that vanished. Overnight, hundreds of residents disappeared without a trace. I mean, Colin, of course you helped with this writing. To this day, no one knows what happened to them. But I have for you a special opportunity that someone as curious as yourself may appreciate. I present unto you an anecdote transcribing the final night that the young woman Tristia Oliver spent upon this earth. How did I become in possession of such valuable information, you ask? You don't need to know that for now. Just please let that curiosity of yours be your guide. You'll need it. Take a look yonder and come to your own conclusions. I'm sure you'll find things even I don't know about with time. Everyone tells you over and over again how grief is complicated, but in reality, it's simple. Grief is love. I don't even think they're separate things. To love someone means you'll grieve for them. And to love and to grieve someone makes you human. But even with this rationale, with my mind accepting that as truth, my heart continues to hurt and ache. It's been a few months now, and at this point I'm fine most of the time. But the littlest of things creep into my mind, and soon my heart explodes into a flurry of pain, love, longing, remorse, and tangles up into a mess at the core of my being. He died at 24, taking his own life. He had several attempts over the last few years leading up to his death. There had been a few scares, but that didn't lessen the impact. I think he thought himself a failure. He was banished from his household at 18 and has been living alone in this nowhere town for several years. The housing was affordable, but to find work here with the economy was hell, and with a minimal work history, a bit of awkward demeanor, and his depression. I hope you knew how important he was to me. I had been best friends with him for 10 years. He was my pillar, and we hung out to take our minds off the shitty parts of our lives. But I had gotten too busy with my own life, not taking as much time to hang out with him, or even just talk with him the last few months he was alive. I regret that now, but I don't blame myself for anything like that. We had planned to be roommates, and we're close, but he never liked to open up to me about his problems. His overall impact on the world was so small, but the impact he had on me is something that I'm going to live with for the rest of my days. But I need to get my mind off all this. I should focus more on myself, not just think back to thinking about something that cannot be changed now. I need to figure out what I'm going to do today. I should get back home before Dad worries. Don't worry, I'll be fine. A sturdy but slowly decaying log. It makes a pretty pleasant point. It makes a pretty pleasant point to just sit down and take in all the swamp atmosphere, though. Okay, that's some uncommon for that. Some swamp grass that's grown pretty tall due to the bog water around here. It's just a weed, nothing too exciting. The lake in the marsh always calms me. There's just something serene about its natural beauty. Alright, we're gonna head on in. These reeds are pretty common in this swamp. I hear their exact species is actually only found around this part of the world. I don't say anything special about it, but I guess what's special is in the eye of the beholder. As we go... Yeah, I don't know why I examined that again. I remember at least only have one common here. A small stream leading to the pond up ahead. There's a sign here with some gameplay instructions. Read. I'll read them. You're about to head back into town, into your home. Once you get there, you'll be able to explore at your own leisure. It'll be impossible for you to do everything in a single playthrough. The game's world works on a progression timer that starts once you arrive at your house. There's 3 periods of time: day, evening, and night. During each period, various things about the town will change, so look into what you're interested in. You can save at mirrors you'll find scattered around town, the first one being within your own room. You only have 1 save file, so choose when to save carefully. You can check your inventory and change the volume, resolution, and control settings in the pause menu. It's recommended to keep volume up on as it's used in gameplay. To skip text rapidly, press either Control or Alt on your keyboard, or select it on your controller. F4 will quickly change the window from full screen to window mode and back, or you can change this from the options menu. F5 will return you to the title screen, but all unsaved progress will be lost. The game is best enjoyed with headphones. Playing in a dark and quiet environment provides the best experience. Don't be stressed, just try to enjoy your last day on Earth. I'll be watching. A few mushrooms are growing in a cluster. Ooh, this is a pretty big mushroom. I wonder how long it's been growing here. Alright, a few mushrooms are growing in a cluster. Yarp. It's a tree that's lost its leaves. Pretty common around this time of year. We'll be fine. Going to ignore everything and actually get to our house now. Oh, walla-dee-dee-da-dee-doo. Just a bush. Just a bush. Just a lot of bushes, honestly. The old mower has been left out. It's fine. Everything is fine. A candle's been lit on the table. Someone's waiting for you in your room. Dad's no longer responsive. He's just staring vacantly ahead in his boxers. I mean, that's fine. Dandy, even. Through the door we go. Everything's fine. Enter your room? Don't. Let's enter. I'm pooped. Time to hit the hay. It's daytime now. Yep. I'll save here for the moment. A few of my favorite books are on this shelf. I enjoy reading. It's something that I can focus on. It's my diary. Read it. Let's see what I wrote. Nothing. It's a nice and sunny day outside. It's my stuffed rabbit. My dad gave it to me as a kid and I've loved it ever since. It's a little worn and torn now, but I still love this rabbit. It's a painting I like. Strange, the wardrobe is locked. Wait, that means I can't change my clothes, can I? There's probably a key for it somewhere. It's a pot plant I've had for a couple years now. It's really grown since I got it, but I enjoy taking care of it. It's a lamp. It's still pretty bright outside, so I don't need to turn it on. I'm going to ignore my house right now. Ignoring. We'll go downstairs. That's gone. I'm not gonna go looking for it right now, though. I'm just gonna go out here. I'm not gonna show too much of the game right now. I just started getting into the mood of playing. I'm sorry, I won't mess around too much. I won't spoil too much of the game. Trust me. I'm going to ignore everything right now and go on ahead for the time being. I'm gonna go to the beach. That's, I guess, what I'll show off before I'm like, okay, don't want to spoil the game. So, yep. Actually, I won't read the sign. Oh wait, did that not transfer correctly? Okay, since I just moved this, okay, I know what even went wrong. Is the fun thing. All right, Buckaroo. I'll have to replace that. I know what went wrong there. It's because the NW thing didn't read that correctly. Okay. But I'll fix it later. It's not a big deal right now. But a shame because that sun in that area is pretty good. And I like the beach. But hey. That'll be out eventually. But not yet. Except I also... Well, I guess the exporting thing isn't the worst thing in the world, but still. Okay. For some reason, I spaced that 1.5.2 games have an issue with this computer. In fact, let me fucking Google this right now. Alright, so I'm here. I can Google. So, let's see. RPG Maker MV 1.5.2. Not crack, lag on Windows 10. So wait for me to fix this. It's the audio. Let me say, it's not lag, audio problems. Maybe it's not working. I mean, RPG Maker MV will work, and this is only for version 1.5.2, but it's not that it won't start up. Does no one have my issue? The thing is, I know kind of what... Actually, wait, let me try something that's a theory in my head, which I just thought of right now, which is why I haven't tried it before now. This may not work, but it's an idea. So I know what's wrong is the .exe of RPG Maker 1.5.2 games, because it works fine if you replace the .exe with the .nw type thing, but at the exact same time it has issues with this. So if I go into properties, there is ways to do compatibility options. Can I run in Windows 7 compatibility mode? Can I change this as run this on Windows 7? Can I make it so it runs for all people? Not read only. Run as an administrator. Make it a higher priority. Not reduce color mode. Disable full screen options. Run this program as administrator. I don't know if this will work. If it does, I will be beyond happy. Also, I just made the screen go black. I apologize for that. It's the administrator window for a second. Please tell me this works, although I doubt it will. It didn't work. I was hoping the compatibility mode, but then again, it's the .exe that's causing the problem. So, maybe the problem is not the MV, because MV works fine. No, it's a troubleshooter. I didn't think it was gonna. Yeah, it's probably not gonna find anything because it was kind of working fine. Let me instead go into anecdotes and let me try doing this with the game. Property. Let's try launching this. Except this doesn't have the same security stuff. I'm not gonna say it like that there. Disable inheritance, auditing, all that is probably fine. I know it's when it's launching this project file and when it launches the in-engine.exe that starts having the problem. Audio lag, Windows 10. It's not even a delay bug, it's like the audio is literally lagging. Again, it's not a delay. That was just an issue with older versions for RPG Maker. I'm talking about an issue which is that the audio is literally having like a big problem. Honk. Because I know there's the issue of the audio, like, let me fucking see what this video says, just to see if they're not talking about what I'm thinking they're talking about. No, this is just the issue about music, like, taking a couple seconds to load in, which is not what I'm looking into at the moment. Alright, I'm gonna have to dig more into this on my own time. That's a shame. I still technically can play test, it just takes a little bit longer because I have to deploy the game and then replace with the .wn files, which thankfully I have already set up correctly, so it's pretty easy just to copy and paste them though. Okay. In the meantime then, there are things I want, like, I'm still in a creative mood. I still want to work, and there's things I can work on, but I'm like, should I work on those on stream? I don't know how interesting they will be. Alright, let me test it like this. Firstly, who here is still with me even after me sort of meandering for like the last 20-30 minutes? Who here is still present and accounted for? Hello there, Sten.
A good day to you.
Because I'm going to have to ask a pretty active question, which is why I'm just seeing who's still there. There might not be too many people, and that's okay. It's like 10 here. It's almost like something's elsewhere. Hey, there's your Kurogi. That makes 2. So at the moment, for a feasible thing, hello there, Colin. Hello there, Wonder Sign. Alright. So at the moment, I'm limited to what I can work on because I still have the Windows 10 issue, and it looks like, unfortunately, there's not going to be... The problem is I can't find people that seem to have the same issue which I have, which is RPG Maker MV. The actual, like, the version 1.6.2 works perfectly fine for me. Version 1.5.2 has an issue of lag in audio on Windows 10 for me, and I need to figure out why. But it's not like the audio lag problem that a lot of other people have. It's that the audio is, like, stuttering. Maybe I should search up audio stutter another time, though. Is that... Oh, okay, but what I was going to ask, well, I also Googled to see if maybe audio stuttering is a better search term for this. There are a few... That means I can only work on 1.6.2 projects. I do want to focus more on Hollow Bliss and a Haze idea, which I'm both kind of fiddling around with. But I'm still in, like, the planning stages of both of those. Would you guys be okay with doing planning stage things right now? And that's assuming that me changing lag to stutter doesn't, like, bring up something. Does reinstall it, except the thing is, it's only a very specific version. Would that work? I'll have to keep that in mind. That would be fantastic if that does work, though. Okay. Alright, so it looks like maybe I might be able to solve my problem by reinstalling my audio drivers. Still, though, but it works fine with 1.6.2 stuff, but that's good to know, at the very least. Alright, so that'll be that. I guess I should focus more on Hollow Bliss, because Hollow Bliss is most likely what I'm going to be working on next as a bigger project in between smaller projects and finishing and polishing up some stuff. And, you know, that and Blossoming Yonder. Blossoming Yonder is a 1.5.2 game. I'll keep this tab open to remind myself about the audio stuttering problem for a little bit later, but yeah, what can I do on stream that's interesting for Hollow Bliss at the point where I'm kind of planning it out with... I also don't want to spoil that game fully. That's a tricky question. at a certain point of development, it'll be more easy for me to show it off without spoiling it, because I'm at a point of organization and planning. This is gonna be annoying. I don't want to, like, I want to, this is frustrating, because I want to work on stream. I'm like, Ryan, I'm still, like, I'm going to be working off stream anyways. I'm in a productive mood. I'm still fully awake. And I have more work I want to get done. But what can I do on stream? Right now, uwu Kokoro, I think, needs to wait until we get to the point of having some character portrait stuff, so then I can code that into the game for the opening scenes. Because the first day is more of a visual novel day, so, having that out of the way would be fantastic. The second thing that I can think of, like, since the 1.5.2 games aren't working, I could work on Hollow Bliss, but I don't want to. Hollow Bliss, I both want to work on stream for, but also I don't, because I have some very huge spoilers. That's a game where I'm actually really proud of the story. So I'm like, I will probably work on stream for another project, but that one's too early and too far off at the moment, so it'd be like weirder position of planning. Murph. Why can't there just be an easy answer? Everything points that I should probably just work off stream right now, but I would like to work on stream. The dilemma where you want to work on stream, but your best option right now is probably to work off stream. Okay. I'm going to make the call. It looks like almost all of the options I have at the moment, the best option is to work off stream. I'm sorry for the stream mainly just being designing the one room and talking a little bit. I guess we technically also got the email sent off and all that, and you guys did help with that. Probably... Here's what I'm probably going to do. I may stream tomorrow, but it may or may not be Kokoro. It might be later in the day because my sleep schedule is a little bit fucked up right now, if I'm going to be honest with you. But also going with that, I'll try to tonight. I've decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to get a certain project to a certain state where it can be presentable tomorrow. Kokoro will wait a little bit for some of the portrait stuff. I'll get a little bit more done on my own time with coding right now, and probably just making sure everything's working and functioning fine, but it's mostly going to be in the same position when you guys see it next. Tomorrow, I very much doubt that Nebulous is going to be able to get a lot done by tomorrow. We'll see how that goes, but rolling with that, what I will focus on is getting a project to a certain point so it's presentable for tomorrow. That's what I'm going to focus on tonight. Am I making enough sense? Hopefully I am. Sorry for this to kind of be like oh, we got one room done and done type of thing, but progress sometimes is slow. And at the moment, if I wasn't having the issue, I know what I would have worked on, but I'm also going to see if reinstalling my audio drivers fixes 1.5.2 before I stream next. Fixing audio drivers is something which I have to do off stream too. If that works, I'll be enthusiastic as hell, I'll tell you that much. But for now, I shall bid adieu to all of you. Have a good night, everyone.